Hello, this is Steve Cubby, and I'd like to welcome you to KUBBY TV, where we look at this insane war on people and drugs by our own government. Now, I'm going to be introducing in just a minute two longtime friends of mine, Chris Conrad, Ed Rosenthal. Gee, we go all the way back to the Prop 215 campaign when we all worked together to pass America's first medical marijuana voter initiative. But we understood then, as we understand now, that change isn't going to come from the government. Change isn't going to come from our leaders. Change is going to come from us. And change still needs to come from us. The announcements by Eric Holder and the Justice Department are not going to turn us away. As a matter of fact, now is not the time to relax. Now is the time to push harder than ever. Harder than ever, because they know that they're in trouble. They know that the public has turned against them. They know that the drug war doesn't have the support that it once had. And we have to push harder than ever to make them back down and end this war on people and plants. And as you're going to hear from my friends, this is about personal commitment. This is about each of us defining our space and drawing a line in the sand. Is it a real line? Have you made your decision about what that line is and what you will do if the government goes across that line? I know I have. I know Chris and Ed have. We've drawn the line, and it's very simple. We don't believe the government has any right to tell us what we put in our bodies, what we use for medicine, or if we can grow a God-given herb. No authority, not under the Constitution, no moral authority, no scientific authority. So now is the time that we have to really come together in our own individual lives and in our communities and put our foot down and tell this government, no more. We're not going to take this anymore. We're not going to allow you to invade our homes, to destroy our families, to humiliate, bankrupt, incarcerate otherwise innocent people because they're using a life-saving plant. And now, without any further ado, allow me to introduce my good friend and author, Chris Conrad.
It's really difficult to understand how entrenched the financial interests of the corrupt drug war are that we're up against. So I would think that socially and politically we should be, but if you look at the lack of progress and a lot of Congress, you would think that the money that we're up against, that $40 billion a year federal budget to keep marijuana illegal, that's a hard thing to overcome. But that being said, Congress this year, for the first time in 50 years, has passed a hemp-related bill, which was a part of the Farm Bill, and allows for research crops of industrial hemp to be grown here in the United States. That is a huge thing. We've got 20 states that have now legalized marijuana for medical use in various forms, plus 2 states that have legalized it. More legislation than ever across the board. Sanjay Gupta coming out recently on the issue. So there's a lot of momentum that's going on right now. We're up against a wall of government bureaucracy that's very entrenched. But I believe that we're at the point where we can get over that wall, and so I'm not sure tipping point is the right word, but I think that we're at a historic moment.
Well, that's why I love Chris so much. He really has a great way of communicating the important things that we all need to focus on in this war. And following behind Chris, we did an interview with Ed Rosenthal, and once again, Ed hits all the right notes and explains to all of us why each of us can make a difference. Now here's Ed.
I'd like to plug liberty. There's nothing like liberty. And you can't buy liberty. And you can't passively receive liberty. You have to fight for your freedom. And I don't mean that literally. I mean that you have to be in the market of affecting change. And if you're not in that discourse, then anything that happens to you is your fault.
This has been Steve Cubby with KUBBY TV coming at you today, tomorrow, and every day. So please join us. Take care.
The proximity of what I hope to be, the weight so heavy where I stand.